Oh God, everyone can speak English in the world, but I can't. Why is this happening? You know what? If I cannot speak English, I really need to bring an end to this life. I'm gonna commit suicide. Let me go just do it. No, I'm not gonna go anywhere. I think there's gotta be a way of learning English. There's gotta be a way of improving my speaking skills. But what should I exactly do wherever I go? I hear people speaking English. I sometimes understand them to some extent, but the thing is that I cannot speak English myself. So what is wrong with me? Why is it that I cannot speak English myself? I know this might be the question of thousands of millions of English learners all over the world. I mean, wherever you go, when you see an English learner, the first question that they ask you, if you're an English teacher, the first question that you need to respond to as an English teacher is, I understand English, but why is it that I cannot speak it myself? Why can't I speak English myself? Could you please help me with my English? Could you please help me improve my speaking skills? I know thousands of words, I know thousands of this and thousands of that and millions of this and millions of that, but the thing is that I cannot speak English myself. I understand people speaking English, but I can't speak English myself. Why? Why is this happening? Alright, today in this video, I'll be responding to those questions and I'll be telling you why you cannot speak English. So stay with me. The reason why you cannot speak English lies in different areas. Your poor knowledge of English grammar, the fact that you do not watch movies or watch news in English, the fact that you don't make any effort to speak English, or you always live in fear of making mistakes while speaking English. So let's start with the first area, which is your knowledge of English grammar. It's not just the knowledge of English grammar that counts or matters. The ability to use English grammar in practice by making sentences, by forming structures is something that matters more. So let me put it this way. You need to improve your knowledge of English grammar to be able to make and form sentences, right? As long as you cannot form sentences, you cannot speak English perfectly or at an advanced level. I've seen thousands of students all over the world who've only memorized some sentences and words, but when it comes to the actual speaking scenario or speaking situation, they find themselves completely unable to proceed with an English conversation. But why is this happening? Because they have a poor knowledge of English grammar, and worse than that, worst of all, they do not know how to use the grammar that they've learned perfectly because they have not practiced. So first of all, try to focus as much time, effort, and energy as you can on improving and enhancing your knowledge of English grammar and your command of English grammar. Once you know the grammar, then you need to practice the grammar. How? In real speaking situations. So imagine that there is something that you want to say in English. First of all, think of the sentence, imagine it in your mind, then try to form that sentence with all the grammatical structures that you've learned. So that's the first step. The second step is to make sure that the sentence that you've formed is grammatically correct. And the third thing that you need to do is increase your speed of making sentences in English. One of the problems that most students have is they have a strong command of English grammar. They know how to make sentences, but they're not quick when it comes to making sentences. So you also need to improve your speed of making sentences in English. So the first problem with you not being able to speak English, or the first reason lying behind you not being able to speak English, is your knowledge of grammar, and also putting your grammar into action by forming sentences and structures and learning how to use your knowledge of grammar, how to take advantage of it. So make as many sentences as you can and also get into the habit of making sentences by taking advantage of your knowledge of grammar, because the more sentences you can make, the more you can expand your speaking capability, and the better you can upgrade your speaking skills, and eventually, consequently, the better you can speak. The other reason why most students find themselves incapable of speaking English is the fact that they do not expose themselves to the language. There might be someone out there who knows English grammar well, who knows how to make sentences, who's capable of formulating, structuring, and forming sentences quickly. But because they do not expose themselves to the language, they do not watch news, watch movies, watch YouTube videos in English a lot, they're out of the sphere of learning English. So you always need to be in the sphere of listening to things in English, watching things in English, and doing anything that you can in English. When you dive in the swimming pool of speaking English, listening to things in English, or watching things in English, the next time that there's something that you want to say, you'll be most probably saying it in English. So the more you expose yourself to the language, the more you will stay inside the language, and the better you will be using the language. So try to form a habit or get into the habit of saying anything you can in English and listening to anything that you can in English. I know most of those who are watching this video are those who are learning English as their second language, because native speakers do not need to be watching this video. Only those who are trying to improve their second language, which is English, are watching this video. So you just need to think of learning English or improving your speaking skills as going to the gym. When you want to go to the gym to build those muscles, what do you have to do? You need to practice regularly. The same goes for English. English is no exception in this regard. The more you practice, the more you listen to things in English, the more you watch things in English, and the more you speak English, then the longer you can maintain this language at an advanced level. So get into the habit of speaking English and don't focus too much attention on whether you're speaking English correctly or incorrectly. When native speakers speak, they never think they're speaking correctly or not correctly because they've listened to others speaking English a lot. So the key to improving your speaking skills is to listen to people a lot. Listen to native speakers. The longer you listen to native speakers speaking English, the better you can use the grammar that you've learned to structure beautiful sentences, and the better you can speak. So the key to speaking English better is improving your speaking skills too. When you listen more, you can speak better. And when you read more, you can write better. So all that having been said, and given what I told you about the reasons why you might not be speaking English well as your second language, I think you need to pay special attention to, or you need to put a lot of effort into making sentences, improving your knowledge of grammar, and also you need to listen to people who speak in English more, and you need to watch things in English more, listen to things in English more, and do as much of anything as possible to make sure that you're inside the sphere of learning English, because the more you're exposed to something, the more you know it, the more you're used to using it, or the more you're used to doing it, or the more you look like it. That's exactly what you got to do. If you want to look like a native speaker, speaking English at an advanced level or perfectly well as to the manner born, what you need to do is expose yourself to the language more each and every single day. Instead of wasting your time on Instagram or on YouTube by watching, I don't know, funny videos, or by watching your favorite comedians, or by watching, I don't know, ridiculous things. Try to listen to podcasts. Try to watch videos in English. Try to watch YouTube videos in English, or try to watch your favorite videos, whatever they are, all in English, to be able to kill two birds with one stone. On the one hand, you're watching something that you enjoy watching, or you're doing something that you enjoy doing. On the other hand, you're improving your English, and you're taking advantage of your time and managing your time as best you can, at your best, to the best of your ability, by learning English, improving your English, and exposing yourself to English, which gives you the opportunity, provides you with the golden opportunity to learn more words, more idioms, more grammatical structures, more sentences, and so on and so forth. So expose yourself to the language. I know thousands of you watching this video might be asking this question: why is it that others can speak English And why is it that I understand them speaking English, but I can't speak English myself at the same level or at an advanced level or in the same way as native speakers do or advanced English speakers do? The answer is improve your knowledge of English grammar. Make sure that you know enough English grammar. Second of all, make sure that you can use the English grammar that you know well. And third of all, expose yourself to the language. Make as many sentences as you can in English. Always think in English. Always try to say anything that you can in English. If there's something that you want to say in English, but you don't know, what you need to do is find the words on the internet, take advantage of ChatGPT, and try to put the words together in sentences by taking advantage of your knowledge of grammar, and go all out. Go out of your way to make the sentence that you want to say in English that you know in your own language, but you don't know how to say in English. That's exactly how you can improve your speaking skills. I remember back in 2009, when I was an English learner myself, I was always preoccupied with how I could say things in English. Wherever I went, restaurants, I don't know, the houses of my relatives, anywhere that I went, I was always thinking in English, and I was always thinking to myself, oh, this person said this in my first language, in Persian. How can I say this in English? All right, that friend of mine said that sentence in Farsi, in Persian, but how can I say that in English? So wherever you go, you need to be constantly preoccupied with how you can say things in English. When you feel that you're preoccupied with, or you're constantly thinking about how you can say whatever being said or whatever is getting said in your own language in English, that's exactly when your speaking skills start improving. And you can speak better, and you will get better at speaking English. So you always need to be preoccupied with how you can say things that you're saying in your own language in English too. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed watching this video. So don't forget the 3 strategies that I taught you in this video. Improve your knowledge of English grammar. Make sure that you can use your knowledge of English grammar practically. And expose yourself to the language by thinking in English, by trying to say anything that you can say in your own language in English, and also going out of your way or putting a lot of effort into saying anything that you can say, you're capable of saying in your own language in English too. I promise, I assure you that if you use these 3 strategies that I taught you in this video, not only can you improve your English speaking skills, but also you can boost your learning. You can smooth and ease your process of learning English too. And within a shorter time frame, you can improve your English and take it to the next level. Then you will not only be able to understand people speaking English, but also you will be able to speak English at the same level or even way better than them. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'll be back soon with another video.